Hello and welcome to the next episode of Soundscape Vietnam, a podcast highlighting the music makers and influencers from the north to the south. My name is Jeremy and I'm your host. Today we have Vietnamese blues guitarist Dave Kettlehead. Dave is also a composer, songwriter, and singer. Dave, welcome to the show. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm good.
Good. Um, how have things been with you recently?
Yeah, it's kind of normal now in Dallas in my area. So I have gigs and everything right now. So it's better than nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Okay, great. So for the listeners out there who might not know, Vietnam in the last few months has been hit hard by a COVID wave, and I live in Ho Chi Minh City, where it's been very difficult. And Dave is up in Dalat in the mountains, which is much more relaxed right now. So that's where I'll start with the questions. Um, you live in Dalat, but is that where you are from originally?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like we've been here for three generations.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, cool. And what was it like growing up there in Dalat?
yeah. It's kind of cold and relaxed and feels like a mixture of Western and Vietnam in the same place. Yeah,
Okay. Um, have you visited like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh much?
I used to live in Ho Chi Minh for 5 years, and I visited Hanoi a couple months ago. Yeah,
Okay, and you prefer to live in a more relaxed place like Dalat?
honestly, no. I like to live in Saigon more, but now it's just a bad choice I can have.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, and it's funny, a lot of foreigners want to move to Dalat now.
I see.
So, I mean, even me myself, I've thought about moving to Dalat because I think a big part of it is the weather, how much cooler it is than Saigon, where it's so hot all the time.
Yeah,
And then it's also more relaxed, I think.
yeah. Exactly. It's more relaxed than Saigon. Much more. Yeah,
Yeah, the big busy city.
yeah.
And how long have you been a professional musician?
I think about I just left my IT work in 2020, so I think more 1.5 year.
Okay, so you were in IT before.
Yeah,
And what did you do? Were you a programmer or
yeah, I was a programmer.
Okay, cool. So those are very different jobs,
Yes, yes, I know.
being a programmer and a musician. How long have you wanted to be a professional musician? Was that something you thought of a long time ago?
Actually, the thought just came to me like 3 years ago when I realized that whenever I get home, the first thing I want to do is pick up my guitar and play. And
Hmm.
you know, sometimes I write songs and stuff, and so I want them to go out there so bad. So that's how I know I want to be a musician. Yeah.
Okay, so it was like a passion inside of you, and you finally decided to go do it all the time.
Yes. Yes.
That's great, man. Power to you. Um, so how long have you been playing guitar?
About 10 years. I think a little bit more, but 10 years.
And did you learn on your own, or did you take lessons? How did you learn?
Actually, I just like when you see something somebody play guitar, so you want to know how they do it, right? So what I
Mm,
do is that try to hear and watch them play and try to copy them as much as I can, and I repeat the process until I become until I can create my own thing.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So you must have spent a lot of time then watching other guitarists play, and then learn from their style.
yes.
Okay. And so then, who are your guitar heroes?
The number one is Rory Geller, and sometimes I listen to Buddy Guy or BB Kings, and uh, and sometimes I also go for metal like Megadeth. Yeah,
Hmm.
but uh, but the number one is Rory Geller. Yeah,
Okay. And if you could describe your playing style, how would you explain it?
yeah. Let's see. Like, sorry. So it's somewhere between blues and rock.
Hmm.
For me, I always feel like I always lean into the blues more. Yeah,
Okay. So you do like a lot of finger picking,
not hybrid picking. Yeah, yeah,
hybrid picking.
pick and fingers at the same time.
Okay, cool. I watched some of your videos and I saw that you also play some slide
Yes,
style. That's cool. I don't think I've seen anyone in Vietnam do that since I've been here. So it's not very common,
right.
right? Yeah, that's really cool. Um, so if you had like unlimited money to spend, what guitar would you buy, and what amp would you buy?
So it depends on how many guitar and how many amps I could get, but now for a combo, I would go with a Stratocaster with a Vox AC30. Yeah.
Okay, cool, very classic, and that setup would give you some really nice blues tones.
Yes.
So I want to talk a little bit more about the blues. When did you discover your love for the blues? When did that start?
It's not exactly when, like it's a whole process. When I
Mm,
was a little kid, I listened to my dad's CD all the time, and he didn't listen to American music. But before the 1975, like the music back then was very similar to the blues styles. So so then I grew up and start to learn guitar. Like I always go back to the blues. It's uh, it's fascinating. Yeah.
okay, so why does the blues inspire you more than other genres?
I think the energy and the soul. Yeah.
Okay, so it gives you more feeling, and connects
Yes.
to how you feel more than other
Yes.
genres.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think that's interesting because the blues comes from people who had such serious problems, like uh, y- mostly black people in America who had terrible living conditions at that time, and they were just taking their pain and then creating beautiful music. So I think that it can translate to any country and any people. If you have something inside of you that you want to show, um, with the guitar or with other instruments,
Yeah,
playing the
yeah,
blues.
yeah, yeah. That's correct.
Yeah. Um, so now I want to ask you about rock music in Vietnam, and you can think about the blues too.
Yeah.
What what is your impression of rock music in Vietnam?
Oh, it's overall it looks like a wave to me. Like you have a wave, and then it's silence, and another one, and another one. Like before the liberation, which is 1975, you have rock
Mm,
and the blues all over the place, and then after the war, like everything is silent again, and back in 2001, they rise again, and I think they will rise again at some point because that's what happens. What?
okay, so would you say that right now rock in Vietnam is kind of like on a downward, or just like
Just
straight
like straight. Yeah, yeah, a
straight
little
path?
bit up, but still straight. Yeah.
Okay, and do you think there's any particular reason for that? Like, why is it not getting really popular?
That's a good question. Like, I think that people don't get that angry anymore.
Right.
Yeah, but
So life is too good.
yeah, yeah, it's better than many years ago.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I guess when you look at rock, the history of rock music, it's often something that people want to shout about and, you know, play strongly on the guitar so that the audience can feel that strong emotion. So when you have times where everyone's life is better, then maybe there's not so much of that feeling anymore.
Yeah, technically, there's so many good musicians out there that can play perfectly, but I don't sometimes I don't see that soul inside them.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting point, especially with now music being so heavily influenced by like record companies and money, TV, social media. Um, there sometimes it feels like there's not as much soul in it.
Yeah,
Right. So, do you think though that the musical taste of normal Vietnamese people is changing? Like, do you think that blues and rock will become more popular in, I don't know, the next 5, 10 years?
yeah, but it's possible because when you look at it, before there was always V-pop, ballad, rock, K-pop, and whatever, but now there's rap inside the top. Yeah,
Hmm.
so so and now I've seen some really young bands, they really young bands, and they want to convey their emotions learn. And I mean, it looks like it's I don't know how to say. It looks like they're getting more and more bands and musicians out there want to play. rock and blues and everything. Uh, so I think that's possible. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I hope so for sure.
yeah,
And when you perform out at these gigs that you do, um, do other Vietnamese people, do they seem to react well to the style of music that you play? Like, are there any people that are really into it, like nodding their head and singing along and stuff?
they don't know my song, so they can't sing along. But but I think they film me, and I think they take the picture on not the head, and so I think they like my music. Yeah,
Okay. Uh, so you do have a lot of original music, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I listened to some of your songs, and you definitely have a lot of passion when you sing and perform, and I can feel that when
thank you.
listening. It's interesting that you have a lot of lyrics, or I guess all of the lyrics are in English.
Yeah,
So is there a reason why you chose to have English lyrics instead of Vietnamese lyrics?
I mean, come on, man, it's the internet era. So why Vietnam when you can go to the world?
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So it's easier to get a bigger audience when you
yes,
sing in
exactly.
English. Right. Okay. But when you perform, do you play any covers, or is it all original?
Sometimes I do covers, but most of my time I play originals.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I respect that because I think there are too many people who don't try to make their own music. They just go to a bar or a cafe or a restaurant, and then they play the Beatles and whatever. And I love the Beatles, but it's like you don't need to play that every time you go somewhere.
Yeah, it's just overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what would you say your goals are right now as a musician, and then like later on also for your career?
So my next step would be signing a major label because right now I am in an indie label right now. So I want to take another step to a major label. Also, yeah.
Okay.
Also, the bigger points of mine is I want to go like let's see, I want to reach that like American level. Like something like I don't know, BB King or something. I want to get that position.
Mm. So you've got your eyes very high up.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. You said you're on an indie label. How did you get connected with the label?
Drupal. So they found my music on Drupal. You know Drupal?
I don't
Yeah,
actually.
it's like a Facebook for musicians.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so I put my music there, and they found me. So they hit me on Facebook and say I want to sign you.
Nice. And what country are they from?
They're from England. Yeah.
England. Okay. So, what kind of support do they give you?
Oh, they published my music for free, and and they also have some marketing channels, so I can
Mm.
put my music there, and they also have a radio. Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's awesome. Vietnam to England, that's very far.
Yes.
So that's cool that you could get discovered by them.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm curious about, do you want to be in a band where you're the leader of the band, or would you prefer to keep going solo?
I think it's better to have a band because when I play along, it feels very different. Like you have to play. It's only you and an acoustic guitar, or maybe sometime a harmonica. But you have to keep the
Mm,
song going by yourself. But when you have a band, you always have somebody uh, behind your back, and also we share the same energy. We share the energy.
right. So yeah, if you have like a bad day, then your bandmates can help pick you up.
Yes.
Yeah, I've experienced that in my band where I just didn't want to do a gig, and my band helped me get through that.
Yeah, that's a huge support, man.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's also good though that you do the solo thing so that you can get the experience um, from seeing like different crowds and things.
Yeah.
And do you have any funny stories from performing, or like maybe something interesting that happened at a gig?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some Vietnamese show up at my gigs, but they don't know I was a Vietnamese until I tell them.
They didn't know because of your name.
Yeah, both my name and my music, they didn't know I was a Vietnamese.
Uh,
Yeah,
so what did they say when they found out?
they, they stand up and ran away.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah,
Well, that's their problem, not your problem.
yeah, I know. But that's, I mean, I was like, that was funny. I did not.
Yeah, I didn't do anything
Yeah,
wrong. Why are you leaving? And how did you come up with the name? Because when I say the word Kettlehead, it reminds me of the guitarist Buckethead.
interesting.
But you know
Yeah,
Buckethead.
yeah, but it's basically all Megadeth influence. Kettlehead.
Oh, Dave Mustaine,
Yeah, and
right?
Kettlehead, you know Vic Rattlehead?
I
The
don't
album
know that
cover
one now.
with the skeleton. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So they call it Rattlehead. So I decided to change it a little, and that literally means I'm crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense in
Okay.
English, but in Vietnamese, if you translate word by word in Vietnamese, that's just saying I am crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Good- It does sound cool in English though.
yeah. Thank you.
So have people have you like said your name in Vietnamese, and then people are like, "Oh, what? Are you actually crazy?"
Sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes. And then you have to prove that you are or aren't crazy.
No. When they hear my music, they uh, they are, they talk to me like I'm crazy. Are you crazy? That kind. Nobody listen to that kind of music anymore.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. It's just like not not well known um enough. Okay, so now that you're doing music full time, and you came from another job, a totally different job,
Yeah.
if you could give advice to a young Vietnamese musician, what would you tell them?
Always ready to learn. Like, yeah, beside of learn how to play, learn how to sing, or whatever, you still have to learn how to do the marketing and promote yourself, and so you have to be ready for that. Yeah.
So being persistent, just keep going, keep getting better.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's good advice. And so now we're wrapping up. Is there anything that you want to shout out or tell the audience about, like any projects you have coming up, like new songs or recordings or gigs or something?
Yeah. So for now, I have every weekend gigs at Leopi in Dallas. But also I'm writing my next album. Hopefully, I can release it next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So a full length
Yes.
album. Sweet. Do you know how many songs you'll have?
Yeah. Maybe 10 songs.
Oh, nice. That's a good length.
Yeah.
All blues, or will you mix in something else?
Yeah. I will mix some bluegrass and some metal, maybe some jazz also.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, awesome. I like all of that, especially bluegrass. That's really interesting. I'm from Southern America, so that's like the home of bluegrass.
Yeah.
Can you play the banjo?
No, I haven't touched a banjo.
I've never seen a banjo in Vietnam. I'm not sure where you could find one.
My friend told me that's one, yeah. But they are expensive.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because nobody makes them
No.
here, so you have to buy it from somewhere. Well, yeah, that would be cool, and I'm looking forward to hearing that. So, thank you for coming on the show,
Yeah.
and I will link to Dave's uh, pages where you can listen to his music. So, thank you again, Dave, for joining the show, and thank you everyone out there for listening. Just check the description to find more information about his music. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can like and subscribe. So this has been episode 5 of Soundscape Vietnam. Signing off, my name is Jeremy, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks again,
Yeah.
Dave.
Thank you.